Welcome to Psychonaut. Let's talk about something we all feel but rarely say out loud. As we grow older, our circle of friends shrinks. Maybe you've noticed it too. The group chats go quiet. The weekend plans disappear. The connections that once felt effortless begin to fade. And one day, you look around and realize the people you used to share everything with are just memories now. But is this a natural part of growing up, or a quiet heartbreak we've learned to accept? Let's dive into the psychology of why we lose friends with age, and what this change really means. In our younger years, friendships are everywhere. At school, in college, at clubs, in dorms. The environment is designed for interaction. Proximity breeds closeness. Shared experiences bond us instantly. We collect friends like souvenirs, each one tied to a moment in time. But there's an unspoken assumption underneath it all, that having many friends is a sign of being loved, that popularity equals worth, that being alone is a red flag. So when adulthood comes and our circle gets smaller, it can feel like a personal failure. But what if fewer friends doesn't mean less connection, just different? As we mature, our priorities shift. Career takes up time. Family requires energy. Our emotional bandwidth narrows. We no longer have the space to maintain every connection, especially the superficial ones. Friendships that once thrived on shared routines begin to fade when those routines change. It's not that we care less. It's that we're different people now, living different lives. And here's something important to understand. Friendship requires alignment in values, in timing, in emotional availability. When that alignment is lost, the connection fades, not out of cruelty, but out of evolution. There comes a moment in adulthood when we realize we no longer want a crowd, we want depth. We crave the kind of friendship where we can be seen, not just socialized with, where silence is comfortable, where the masks come off. And these friendships, they take time. They require trust, patience, emotional maturity, and they're rare. So yes, our list of friends may shrink, but what remains is gold. Despite understanding all this, many adults still report feeling lonely. Why? Because the transition from social abundance to emotional selectiveness isn't easy. There's grief involved. Grief for the spontaneity, the laughter, the late-night talks that came so easily before. Psychologists refer to this as transitional loneliness, a phase where your outer world is still catching up with your inner growth. You've outgrown certain connections, but haven't yet found the ones that truly match your soul. This limbo is painful, but it's also a signal. You're becoming someone who values real connection, and that takes time. As we grow older, our emotional needs become more defined, and so do our boundaries. In our youth, we often say yes to everything. Yes to every party, every invitation, every "let's catch up soon." But adulthood teaches us something crucial. Our energy is limited, and not everyone deserves a seat at our emotional table. This self-awareness is growth, not loss. It's the realization that protecting your peace sometimes means letting go of connections that drain rather than nourish. And while that can feel lonely at first, it creates space for the right kind of friendships to enter, ones based on mutual respect, depth, and real emotional availability. Have you ever been in a room full of people and still felt alone? That's what surface-level connections do. As adults, we become less tolerant of shallow interactions. We don't want just someone to talk to. We want someone who understands us. This need for authentic resonance is what filters our social lives so intensely. We stop spending time with people out of obligation. We stop chasing approval through popularity. We start asking, can I be myself around you? Do you get me, even when I'm not saying much? Are you here for me or just for the version of me you like? And if the answer is no, we walk away. Not because we're cold, but because we've learned the cost of pretending. Here's a truth that hits hard. The deeper you go into your own healing, the fewer people you find who truly relate to that journey. Inner work, therapy, self-reflection, confronting old wounds, changes how you relate to others. You become more aware of manipulation, more sensitive to emotional inconsistency. You start seeing through the noise of small talk and into the void of emotional avoidance. And suddenly, some old friendships feel empty, not because they were fake, but because you've changed. You're no longer willing to bond over shared trauma, gossip, or emotional suppression. You want realness, and not everyone's ready for that. It's tempting to look at a shrinking social circle and think, what's wrong with me? But fewer friends doesn't mean you're unlovable. It means your love is now selective. You're learning to give it to those who see, value, and honor it. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. This is not rejection, it's self-respect. We've been conditioned to believe that the more people like us, the more worthy we are. But the truth is, your worth isn't in how many people want you. It's in how deeply you connect with those who truly see you. Let's be honest. Sometimes adulthood feels lonely. But not all solitude is loneliness. There's a difference between being alone and feeling alone. Solitude is when you enjoy your own company, when your peace becomes more important than shallow connection, when your own thoughts don't scare you anymore. This is the space where real friendships grow, because you're no longer clinging to others to avoid yourself. You're choosing people who align with your truth, not distract you from it. And in that space, the few friendships you build are deeply, beautifully real. So what now? Does growing older mean giving up on friendship? Absolutely not. But it does mean being intentional. Look for people who match your energy, who are doing their own inner work, who respect your boundaries and share your values. They might not be many, but they're out there. And when you find them, it won't feel like effort. It'll feel like home. Because real connection doesn't need to be forced. It just needs space to grow. If you've ever wondered why your social circle feels smaller now, know this: you are not broken. You're evolving. You're shedding the need for quantity and discovering the power of quality. You're learning that fewer friends doesn't mean less love. It means truer love. So the next time you feel alone, ask yourself, am I lonely or just surrounded by fewer, more honest connections? Big difference. If this message resonates with you, consider giving it a like and sharing your thoughts in the comments. And if you'd like more deep dives into the psychology of the human experience, don't forget to subscribe to Psychonaut. We explore the inner world, one truth at a time. Until next time.